Welcome back. Our poll question of the day with the Cardinals and Reds struggles. How many wins will it take for the Cubs to win the NL Central? And the majority of you say 86 to 90, 59%. 41% say 91 or more. I think, Todd, it's more in the 86 to 90. This division isn't that good this year, so I don't think you need to win more than 95.
I agree wholeheartedly. This division right now, I think all the teams, even the teams on top, you look at the Cardinals right now, they're scuffling on offense. You look at Cincinnati, and people are trying to figure out how they're in the position that they're even in. They're having a lot of good things go well for them, a lot more offense than I think they were anticipating, but their starting pitching's been scuffling as of late. And you look at where this Cubs team is, I mean, they're right in the middle of this thing. If they could just make a run of any magnitude, 8 out of 10, I mean, it doesn't even have to be consecutive wins. They just need to start winning some series. They win 4 out of the next 6 series. I think that they're 2.5, 3 games out, going into the All-Star break. And this Cubs team, despite everything that, I mean, so many people have mailed this season in because of all the things that have gone wrong, they're hanging around. And, maybe, just maybe, if they find a way to start believing in each other, maybe a little bit more and start getting a little bit more consistent on offense, they'll find themselves in a meaningful September anyway.
Well, we heard Jim Hendry in the pregame show saying it's no longer early, and if they do make a move, they need to do it quickly because he has some contract issues with some of the players on this team that if he decides this team is not going to do it in the end, he might have to have a fire sale.
Well, there's a day that's going to come, and I'm sure he's got it in his mind, and he's not going to play that card to any of us in the media or any of the players. Only he knows where that day is, and he's going to assess this team, and he says, I'm going to have my decision where I believe this team is going to go by this period of time, maybe this 24-hour window or 48-hour window, and then he's going to start exploring options to make this team better for the future, or he's going to decide that I can tweak this a little bit. I think we can make a push, and this is something that I believe in. I mean, you've got parts on this team that are really, really good. They just haven't really worked together yet. And so, I mean, the pieces are in place, but some of these players are going to have to start stepping up and taking some accountability personally and saying, listen, I need to step it up and get this job going or put this team on my shoulders for a little while, because this team has got 3 or 4 guys like that, especially on offense. That's really what I'm talking about, guys that can carry a team for a while. We just haven't really seen anybody lately get hot or streaky, or anybody, 2 or 3 guys in the lineup. I mean, they've just been piecing it together lately, and unfortunately, that's why these Cubs are playing so many close ball games, because I really think that they're better than an awful lot of them, but you can't keep playing to the level of your competition and expect that you're going to find yourself 10 or 15 games over 500 at the All-Star break or even towards the end of the season if you're going to let each and every team that you play, and I mean the Houston Astros and the Pittsburgh Pirates and all the teams that have been struggling consistently all year long and really don't have a whole lot of expectation on them to win, to be in these ball games and winning games that they shouldn't be winning.
Well, Hendry did make one decision. He did say he will not be firing Lou Piniella during the course of this season. So if you're a fan, you're happy. If you're not a fan, well, too bad. Lou will be here until the end. All right, we welcome your questions and comments, and we did get one from Paul in Fort Wayne. He asks, why do the Cubs always have problems scoring runs with a runner on third base and 1 or less outs? Yeah, we're all scratching our head on that one, Paul.
Well, this is a multiple level answer, and I think it starts with the philosophy. It starts really with how they're approaching it. I think a lot of the Cubs are very, very aggressive early in the count. They're putting the pressure on themselves instead of putting the pressure on the mound. I'll tell you this, as far as the way an offense functions, guys work together. When guys typically start hitting, I referenced the 08 team quite a bit, but when they started, feeding off each other, they became this offensive machine that just poured out runs each and every ball game. The home runs were there, and the pressure was constantly on the mound. On the flip side of that, this Cubs team of 2010 has been just the opposite. I mean, it's almost like, unfortunately, they get themselves into these positions where I think we all say, here we go again. And that's not really a good feeling. And so you know that those guys are feeling it twice as much as we're feeling it when those opportunities do present themselves. And I really believe in my heart that the only way that they're going to work through this is by consistently putting themselves in position. And what I mean by that is getting guys in second and third, inning after inning after inning. I would have liked to have seen more of that. They did it early in this ball game, and they failed, and they didn't get those runs in like I felt like they could. But at the same time, the offense just completely shut down from about the 3rd through the 7th inning. There was just nothing there. They weren't getting anybody on, so the opportunities weren't there. Everybody got in a nice rhythm on the mound, and they started making their pitches, and they got more confident, and they're throwing their changeups, and everybody's feeling good about themselves. All the while, you're playing a really, really close ball game, and here we go again. Somebody's going to have to get a big hit late in the ball game, and nobody's been in these positions yet during the course of the game. So, again, I think this is just going to be a practice that they're going to have to do is get those guys on early in the ball game when there's a little bit less pressure than there is late in the ball game, and find ways to have successful at-bats that are surrounded by failure. And what I mean by that is sacrifice flies, moving guys over. You watch the A's do it in the 8th. They were able to manufacture a run, get guys in position, or early in the ball game, I should say, and that's what they're going to have to do.
All right, well, the Cubs get the series victory against the A's. Now they welcome in the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Game 1 at Wrigley tomorrow afternoon. We will have the pregame, by the way, at 12:30, and it will be Scott Kazmir going for the Angels and Carlos Silva for the Cubs. 8-1. Todd, he went 8-0 and lost one game, and that was the White Sox last week, and I'll tell you what, he was not happy about it.
Well, it should be a pitcher's duel. There's certainly there's no denying that he was not happy about it, but he's going to have to bounce back from his first loss of the season. I think he's going to go out there and he's going to beat Carlos, the Carlos we've seen all year long. I expect him to have, obviously, change speeds, keep the ball down. He did a real good job of that, adjusting himself during the course of the game because the White Sox were on him early. Scott Kazmir, to me, he's the left-handed version of Rich Harden.
All right, we leave you with Ron Santos singing the 7th inning stretch, and join David Kaplan at 5:30 as the Stanley Cup comes to our studios. Todd and I will see you tomorrow for Cubs pregame live at 12:30. Thanks for watching.
Now let me hear you today, loud and clear. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back, for it's root for the Cubby. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's at the old ball game. Let's get some run.
Cubs Postgame Live is presented to you in high definition by Sylvania HD LCD TVs and Blu-ray disc players. You must see baseball in stunning high definition.